Hey guys, so I wanted to finally review the new Hellraiser movie. As y'all know, I'm a big Hellraiser fan. I've always been. I freaking love Hellraiser. I got my box. I did a whole video on the Lament configuration box right here. This particular one moves, and that's for another video though. But look, also, it's got chains, so you know I'm a big Hellraiser fan. Now, anyway, let's get into the movie. Right off the bat, I'm gonna always be biased for Doug Bradley. He is my Pinhead. I don't care who else wants to try to play it. I'm gonna always be a fan of Doug Bradley. I don't care. He is Pinhead for me. But Jamie Clayton, the new Pinhead female, did a good job. I have to admit, she's gotta be number 2. Others have played Pinhead and it was just, but she's definitely number 2 in the Pinhead role, which surprised me. First of all, this certain movie goes more like the book. Pinhead is more feminine. That's the weird part. In the books written by Clive Barker, which I read, I did read it. It's Hellraiser, the Pinhead, he is more feminine. He's got a post-like androgynous look. You can't really tell what his gender is, and she did it. This certain movie, Pinhead, fits the book. Now, it is not the ride that the other one was. It's not your classic 80s and 90s horror that the other Hellraisers were at all. These Cenobites look like they are, like, suffering is their name. Like, I thought the original Cenobites had more of a sadist-masochist kind of look to them with the, leather, and I still like that look more, I do. But these guys, their freaking skin is their clothes. They look like they are the epitome of suffering. I'm like, geez, like, oh my goodness, what y'all do all day? Like, we got Pinhead walking around here. I love the little feminine touch they put on it. Like, her pins have little mother of pearls on the end of them, where she pulls out a bit, where the other one's more rugged. She pulls out her little pins and little mother of pearl on them. And these certain ones, I saw the first Cenobite you see is definitely reminiscent from Bloodline. Yes, definitely Bloodline. And I know they did a great job matching the Cenobites, so you kind of like can feel like it's like a whole collaboration of all the movies together. So I took little pieces of each one. So the first Cenobite you see, it comes on camera, is definitely looks like the Cenobite from my favorite Hellraiser, which is Bloodline. And it's reminiscent from Angelique from Bloodline. Her end look after Pinhead gets a hold of her. That's how she starts to look. And it's like a really advanced version of it. I want to talk about Cenobites only right now. We'll get to the rest of the movie later. That is like the advanced version of her Cenobite with the peeled back skin and the head, and it's kind of pulled down. I recognized it. I got it. Then you get into the last Cenobite. I'm going to just kind of skip around. I'm only talking about the Cenobites right now. You get to the last Cenobite was definitely reminiscent from the whole storylines, kind of more so like Hellbound, which I believe is Hellraiser Part 2. Where you got, like, in Hellraiser Part 2, you got this doctor who, like I said, spoilers. I'm not sure I said spoilers yet, but yeah, this is going to have spoilers because I want to talk about the whole movie and I don't want to hold back. So this, like, it's more like Part 2. I got it. Especially if you watched all the movies like I did. I get what they're trying to do there. The whole storyline of this one is very similar to Part 2 Hellraiser, where this doctor collects these boxes and he's doing it because he just wants to get into the, I guess, the macabre and harness their powers. Well, that's basically the storyline of this one. This certain movie is the storyline of Hellraiser Part 2. And because this guy, he's just a mess and he's rich and he's collecting the Lament configuration box. There's only one in this certain episode, but he collects them, and I think he's more eviler than the one from Part 2. He wants their powers, but he don't care who he's sacrificing to get it. He doesn't care. Well, either way, his Cenobite form, once he gets got, because he's going to get got, is very similar to the Leviathan, what Leviathan does to the Doctor in Part 2, when he takes him and puts the hose in the back of his head, and he getting just tore up. And then he's like, my favorite line in Part 2 Hellraiser, when the doctor is like, And to think, I almost hesitated. Like, he loved being a Cenobite. This guy hates it. The main villain of this certain movie, he does not want to be a Cenobite. He hates it. But he's going to get it. He gets turned into more like Leviathan from part 2. So I love the different Cenobites they mix in there. They have some new ones too that are very unique. Like the one where it's the wheezing one. Oh man, that Cenobite, that one was scary. When it unleashes, the new Cenobites are terrifying. I must admit, they are terrifying. You don't want to be part of that club. Like I must admit, I love the Cenobites of the past, but these guys, you don't want to be part of them. When that one can't even, that one's breathing hard, and when you, and it's always in like prayer positions, all jacked up, and then when it unleashed its strings and it went running after the main cast, I was like, yeah, that's all you can say. And I just, wow, this, oh, let's talk about the configuration box now. So I got it right here in my hand. Okay. This configuration box is, I hope they start selling that prop. If they do, I'm going to buy it probably too. It's stretched. It's very different. It's very long. And it's similar to the one I got. This one has a hole in it. Well, they actually put that in the movie. In the movie, it's a hole inside of the box. And this certain box is violent. It cuts people. If you touch this configuration box, the first thing it does is slice a person. And whoever it slices is basically owned by it. It's going to get you. If a person gets sliced, it's done. And so that box is a lot more, like this one's more fun to play with. But like that one was scary. Like if a person just touches it, you see his little tiny hook knife go slink. And like, ah! And those cuts, they're not like shallow. There's some deep cuts, and it was scarier. And its movement is changing. The way it changes and moves is very different than the original configuration box. This one stretches out and looks a lot more organic and just really a box you don't really want, but I still kind of want it. But like, you don't want to play with that certain limit configuration box. Very different than this one. This one is more like a puzzle box. That other one is really, it has many different forms. The whole top part moves. This part moves. It's a lot going on with that one. And it's got, actually, this is more canon now. It's got a hole in it. So, yeah, so it cuts the person immediately. And then the Cenobites come to collect them. These Cenobites also, I noticed the whole storyline of this certain, they're different. Like, okay, when Pinhead collects you, he acts like he don't really get that, like, you're gonna like this. Like, he acts, that's why, like, he's like, I have so many sights to show you. And she does the line, by the way. She does it. She says, I have so many sights to show you. I thought it was really cool when she did the line. But I really wish they had did a come to daddy. I would have loved that. I wanted that. I wanted somebody to say it. But I understand it was a more serious Hellraiser. But I would have liked to see that. In the other past movies, Pinhead is a little bit more like picky. Like the original Pinhead is more like, no, this was not, like, this is not the work of hands. This is the work of desire. You know, like he doesn't, like, just because you touched the box, like when the girl was solving it in part 2, he didn't just immediately grab the girl for solving it. He knew who really wanted it, which was the doctor. Or like he knew that's the one who wanted it. This Pinhead be like, you got, so you're mine. And she doesn't, like, she doesn't turn everybody. It is a story based off of work. Like, you have to sacrifice to this to get what you want. If a person just cut by the box in this particular movie, you're just for her enjoyment. She don't be lying to you and acting like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the pleasures. And no, she's like, oh, like, this was great for us. You know, like, she don't care. And her people don't care. And the only one who matters is the one who initiates the game. Like, for this movie, it was the doctor. I'm not sure he's a doctor. I don't know what he was, but the rich guy. The rich guy initiates the game. He has to sacrifice to the box to get the last configuration, which is Leviathan, which gives him whatever he wants. Whether it's power, life, resurrection, different things. I forget now each thing, but each shape, like, tells you, like, what you want or whatever. And he didn't care. He's rich. He sacrificed people, young people, to the box. And when he finally got the last configuration, each time it gets a new person, it changes shape. And so when he got the last shape, man, what happened to him, he asked for, I believe, like sensation. And so, that's one thing I did love about this certain movie. The look of everything was so steampunk. You got all this flesh manipulation, but with the gold steampunk, like everything's like gold. So I'm wearing my gold rings right here because everything was so, like, when they sent down, I'll get into spoilers. When they sent down this gun, he thought he was getting like he wanted sensation. He was so bored. He was so rich and bored. And when they sent him down this gun, it was so anime looking organic gun. And he's like, okay. And it went straight through his back, grabbed all his nerves, and started just tearing him a new hole. And I was like, dag. And oh man, you can see his nerves wrapping around the gears, and it was just, and it's pretty, it's gold and pretty, and he's just in like the agony. And so it always moves so that, and it stops just enough for him to catch his breath so that he never doesn't he will never get bored. And I thought that was kind of reminiscent the way that like it churned, like it kind of reminded me of part 3, Hell on Earth, because it reminded me of the Cenobite that had the camera in his head, and it was like banging on his head, like tearing him up, and he was already a kind of like sexual dude in that certain movie, and so they had to put a camera inserted into his head that kept like banging around. Well, that's what this guy had, but it was like through his heart, and was banging, like going crazy and snatching his nerves, and that torture looked like dag. It was, you don't want nothing these Cenobites got for you. You don't want nothing they got. It's bad. So the main character, long story short, she ends up initiating the game. So when Pinhead, the new Pinhead, comes to her, he's like, or they, I should say they are like, sacrifice more to us and we'll give you what you want. What is it? Like, do you want resurrection? We know we took your brother, so give us more people and we'll give you whatever you want. And so she, throughout the whole thing, learns a lot. Learns that about this rich guy, that basically their gifts, you don't want nothing to do with it. There is a twist inside. I will not spoil that part because it kind of messed up the movie. But that's the one that I won't talk about, but there's a big twist in it. So yeah, but that she realizes from the rest of it, she does not want the resurrection. She does not want to resurrect her brother, because she already knows they kind of slipped up. There's like when she saw about her brother, Pinhead was like, yes, and he finished beautifully. Like, finished, like what? Like in the original Pinhead movies, the souls belong to Pinhead forever. In this one, it's like once they kill a person, it's like, bye, we have fun with you, bye. Like, it's not the same. There's like no, it's just not. And what I love about this one too is, like, it reminds me of kind of like Constantine. If you remember the old Constantine movie with Keanu Reeves in it, one of my favorites. It's like no matter where you are at, hell will just like burst around you. In this certain reality, like the one time, like, okay, one of their friends got, she touches the box and gets like pricked, and not pricked, she gets stabbed, and she's like in the back seat, like jacked up. And she's just sitting there. Actually, no, I forgot. No, she didn't get stabbed. Somebody stabbed her in the back with the box. And so she was jacked. And she in the back seat. And all of a sudden, her friends, this part was so cool. Her friends were in the front of the van. And you just start seeing the van pull back. And brick walls start appearing on the side of her van. And she was like, guys, so she was with them, but not with them anymore. She had now entered into Pinhead's arena. And she was like, guys, and like no matter where you are, you can't escape them. Like, there's no place you can run. Like, this is like no place you can run. Like, before, you kind of can, but no matter what, it don't matter if you're in a car, the walls start opening up and you start going into the dimension. And it was so cool because they took it literally from part 2 with the maze and Leviathan and the walls when they opened up, and it was definitely like from part 2 of Hellraiser. Loved all the different references. That was awesome. Loved the uniqueness of the story, and they added their own touch to it. Okay, so I noticed also the chains, like how Pinhead's old chains would be just a hook. Like, it'd be crank, like, you feel you could kind of like survive it. This one's chains coming out like this. It looks so much more painful. Everything about this movie looks more painful than the original Hellraiser. Everything's more painful. It's just like, you look and be like, why bother? You don't want nothing to do with this box. It's so much more darker. It's a darker story, a darker it's a darker reality. It really is. And darker Cenobites. These Cenobites don't wear clothes. Their clothes is their skin. Their own skin has been ripped and manipulated to be their own clothing. I think one person even had like a face covering their privates. It was a lot going on there. It was a lot. So, oh look, my box is moving on its own. Wait, is it? I think it's happening. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Like, it literally should start doing it on its own. Like, I was just sitting here chilling. See, this is the old way. Or I just changed the configuration. Oh no. I tell you this, that movie makes you not want to play with this box. Like, I've been playing with it. Oh, it's back. I've been playing with it, and like when it just literally started like moving on its own, I was like, am I sure I want to deal with this? Because that pinhead don't play. She is hard. She is hard. So I also love, and I don't want to spoil it too much. You see I'm playing with this. I'm there playing with my box. Let's change the configuration. Okay, let's keep like this for the rest of the video. Another thing that was really kind of cool is that, you know, this box is called the lament configuration. Now, to lament, I believe it's to like cry or be sad. And they never really get into why this box is called that. Well, in the end of this movie, when the Cenobite comes to her, Pinhead says, okay, what do you want? You sacrificed enough bodies, you know, what you like? She says nothing. She said, I don't want nothing from you. And so Pinhead looked at Ash disappointed, like you did all this work and you don't want nothing. I'm like, no, I wouldn't want nothing either. And then they say to her, well, then I guess you picked to lament. And they leave her alone. They actually like leave her alone. And I said, and then she, of course, she's crying. She's crying like a lot. She lost her brother, lost her friend. And I said, wow, I like how they broke it down in this certain episode with, now like you kind of see what's called lament. She picked to lament, which is to cry. And she does. And she probably cried most of her life because of all the crap that happened. But it was really cool. And I don't think she's going to ever probably do drugs again either. So maybe it's the box for the best. I don't know. Either way, I liked it. Overall, I would still give it a really high rating. And definitely highly recommend the new Hellraiser movie. If you're a Hellraiser fan, I would highly recommend it. I think you're still going to love it. Like, I still really enjoyed it. I probably will watch it again very soon. Like I said before, I will always love Doug Bradley. He is my Pinhead, but this one was definitely number 2 in the Pinhead arena, and I would definitely watch her play it again. I would most certainly watch her play this character again. So that's basically it, guys. Let me know in the comments below what y'all thought about the new Hellraiser movie, and are y'all gonna go watch it? And if you do watch it, come back and tell me about it. We can maybe talk about it because it was really cool. And I will talk to y'all guys later, hopefully very soon. Okay, guys, and remember, you opened the box, we came. Okay, I was corny. Okay. Okay, guys, bye.